So do you remember how last time we did the square roots?
Yeah.
Okay, and I put the list of perfect squares up here on the board. Today we're gonna do the cube roots. And so it's the same exact process, but it's a different list that we need to generate. So instead of just a square, it's now three-dimensional and you have a cube. Picture like a Rubik's Cube. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there's pictures of them right here. Do you see how it's 3 by 3 by 3? Okay, so what is 3 times 3 and then times 3 again? So if you were to break the Rubik's Cube apart, you would have 27 little boxes. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so it's to the third power now. So 1 to the third, that's 1 times 1 times 1, which would just be 1, okay? Now, I've kind of coached you guys about 2 cubed a lot. It's 2 times 2 times 2. That would be 8. 3 cubed we just did is 27. Now, after that, you would probably need your calculator. So can you type 4 cubed into your calculator? 4 to the third. It's 4 times 4 times 4 is what it is. But I'm asking you to type it in. I wouldn't expect you really to do that one in your head. But you got to be able to type it in. You all have Desmos open, right? It is 64. 4 times 4 is 16, and then times 4 again would be 64. Now you have to be careful with 64 because it's on both lists. Square root of 64 is 8, but the cube root of 64 is 4. So you got to be careful with that one. All right, type in 5 cubed for me. Oh, did you guys do it already? Good. 125. And then 6 cubed is 216. Did you type them that quick or do you know them? So, oh, you guys are fast with the calculator. Well, I think you were impressing me. Okay.
One is on the other little example.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess it is right there, huh? Wasn't looking at that. So now when you go backwards, and any root of 0 is going to just be 0. And yes, these do go in order. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you just have to get used to this like new list, and I'm going to put it on the board so you don't have to keep on flipping your paper back and forth. But instead of squares, they're now perfect cubes that you need to be looking for. Okay. We probably won't need to go much further on that. Okay, so I have the list on the board. Go ahead and flip it over. And when we split them, do you remember how we drew the 2 little houses? They're going to be cube roots instead of square roots this time. So when you draw your 2 little houses, you just have to put that little 3 out front. It's called the index. We don't write it when it's a square root, but it's a 2. This time it's a 3. Hey, Miss Cole, do I have to write the little 3 on all of them? Yeah, because if you don't, then now it's a square root instead of a cube root. So you have to put that. You need 2 numbers that multiply together to equal 40. One of them's got to be on this list. Go ahead. 8 times 5. Now, that was a small enough number that we probably didn't need the calculator. But you will do it the exact same way. Make a table on your Desmos and then find one of the numbers on the list. Now, what is your cube root of 8? If you don't remember at this point, you can flip your paper back over because we're just kind of getting used. It is 2. This one is 2. And this one is leftover. And that's your answer. One of them is going to work. One of them is not. So draw 2 little houses. You need a number from that list that goes into 500. And by the way, the square roots, you can't do negatives with them because 2 is an even number. The cube roots, you can do negatives with. So we will have negatives in these. It's just going to make your answer negative. That's all. But you need to find 2 numbers that go into 5. 2 numbers that times together to equal 500.
100 and negatives.
125 and 4.
Okay, you guys got it. Hold on one second. I'm going to share my screen and just type it in so that this shows up on the recording. I just want it to show up on the recording for everybody. So if you type negative 500 divided by X, go to the gear, go to the table. And you guys found it? There it is. Negative 125 and 4. I just wanted that to show up on the recording. All right, so you got negative 125 and 4. So what is your cube root of negative 125? Not 5, but negative 5. And you can type that into Desmos too. Do you know you can get a cube root? Let me share again, so this shows up on the recording. Let me X these out. You know this little like keyboard at the bottom? Don't you have a cube root down here? I see a square root. Which one?
Right next to it, right on the
Wait,
top in the, no, in the, you see A to the second?
yeah, this?
If you go next, A to, you can put 3.
No, but I want a cube root. Like I want one of these, but a cube.
I think you just put that in between the 3.
You know what? I'll fool around with this later and see if I can find it. I know it exists in there. Sometimes if you type it in, it might. Oh, okay. If you type CBRT cube root, that'll give you a cube root. There we go. Cube root of -125. Okay, we figured it out. You can do the same thing for square root. That's how I knew to try that. If you type SQRT, it'll give you a square root. CBRT will give you a cube root. Okay, cool. I bet you it's down there in that like keyboard somewhere. I just don't feel like searching for it. All right, draw 2 little houses, put the little 3s out front.
27 and 6.
Did you type this one in already?
1 and 1.
So 1 is, yes, a perfect cube, but 1 isn't going to help you at all. Did anyone else get 27? And 6, good. What's your cube root of 27? 3, so it's 3 cube root of 6. 1 works, 1 doesn't. Don't shout it out if you already typed this one. Can everybody go into their calculator and type 432 divided by X? I'm going to do it too. And I mean, unless you know all the numbers that go into 432, you're going to need to type it in. Go to the gear, go to the table. And then, you know, don't hit enter really. Oh, actually, you don't need to hit enter. I see it already. Do you see 216 right there and 2? Okay, cool. 216 and 2. So what is your cube root of 216? 6. And then cube root of 2 is left over. All right, go ahead and type in 54. 54 divided by X. Find something off of the list. It is 27 and 2. Hey, I dare you to write this down. And then what's that going to reduce to be? 3, and then cube root of 2. Hey, can you type in 96 divided by X into your calculator? Everybody? 96 divided by X. Here, I'll share my screen and type it too.
8 and 12.
Gosh, did you do it already? Hold on a second. You typed it so quick. Give everybody a chance. All right, so do we see something? You don't want to just hit enter like as fast as you can. Like go slowly, see if you can find it. There we go. Do you guys see 8 and 12? Okay, cool. So draw 2 little houses. We have 8 and we have 12. And then one of them works, one of them doesn't. What is your cube root of 8? 2. Good. So 2 cube root of 12. The next one, you don't need to type in the calculator. I just stuck a negative in it. So what do you think? This one we did 96. This one's negative 96. It's going to be the same answer except negative. So just put a negative in front of it and it's the same problem. All right, so can everybody, because like this is our last example here, when I go and ask you to do your check your understanding, you're going to need to be able to type them in the calculator. Type 686 divided by X. And then get your table. And then generate the table. Oh, actually, you don't need to go any further. I see one that works already.
349.
Do you see the 343 and 2? Don't go crazy hitting enter. Like you want to do it slowly so that you can actually see what you're looking for. So 343 times 2. And then what is your cube root of 343? Is 7. Good. So 7 cube root of 2.